Good morning, students. Already I had sent the first video of this lesson, that is landforms. In this we had studied about the landforms, the types of landforms, the formation of mountains, the valley, the plateaus, the plains, and the classification of plains. So today I am going to teach you the landforms and people. In this video we are going to study about the cold desert Ladakh and the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. Ladakh is a cold desert lying in the Great Himalayas on the eastern side of Jammu and Kashmir. As you can see in the figure, here the Karakoram range in the north and the Jaska mountains in the south enclosed it. So here you can see that several rivers flow in Ladakh. So Indus is the main river which flows from here. The rivers form deep valleys and gorges. Several glaciers are also found in this Ladakh. For example, the Gangri glacier is the biggest glacier which is seen in Ladakh. So the altitude in Ladakh varies from 3000 meter in Kargil to more than 8000 meter in the Karakoram. Due to its high altitude, you can see that climate is extremely cold and dry. The air of the altitude is so thin that the heat of the sun can be felt immediately, and the day temperatures in the summer are just above 0 degree and the night temperatures are below minus 30 degrees centigrade. So it is freezing cold in the winters when the temperatures may remain below minus 40 degree Celsius for most of the time. As it lies in the rain shadow area because of the Himalayas, there is very less rainfall. So it is minimum 10 centimeters every year. The area experiences freezing winds and burning hot sunlight. You will be surprised to know that if you sit in the sun with your feet in the shadow, you may suffer from the both sunstroke and also the frost bite at the same time. Flora and fauna. So due to high aridity, that means very less moisture or very less rainfall will be seen here. So because of that, the vegetation is very sparse. That means vegetation is very less over here. So there are scanty patches. You can see that the grasses and shrubs for animals to graze will be seen very less in these areas. So groves of willows and poplars, one type of trees and the shrubs are seen in these valleys. During the summer, fruit trees such as apple, apricots and walnuts grow here. Several species of birds are seen in Ladakh. Migratory birds are seen here. For example, robins, redstart, Tibetan snowcock, raven and hoopoe are common, which come from the other parts of the world. The animals of Ladakh are wild goats, wild sheep, yak and special kind of dogs. So the animals are rare here to provide milk, meat and hides. Hides means shelter for the animals. Yak's milk is used to make cheese and butter. The hair of the sheep and goat is used to make woolens. You can see here there is a Ladakh yak. They have given one picture of the Ladakh yak. People. Do you find any resemblance between the people of Ladakh and the inhabitants of Tibet and Central Asia? Yes, the people here are either Muslims or Buddhist. So you can see many Buddhist monasteries in Ladakh's landscape with the traditional gumpas. Gumpas means these are one type of temples or monasteries of the Buddhisms. So some famous monasteries are Hemis, Thiksay, She and Lama Yuru. So here you can see one picture they have given about the Thiksay monastery, which is one of the famous monastery of Ladakh. Figure 2.5. In summer season, the people are busy cultivating barley, potatoes, peas, beans and turnip. The climate in the winter months, you can see that very harsh, that people keep themselves engaged in some of the festivities and ceremonies. So the women are very hardworking. They work not only house and fields, but also they manage small business and shops also. So Leh, the capital Ladakh, is well connected both by the road and air. So the National Highway 1A connects Leh to Kashmir Valley through the Zojila Pass. Tourism is the major activity which is seen in Ladakh. Most of the people from different parts of the world and from India come to visit Ladakh. So they visit to the Gumpas, they treks to see the meadows and glaciers, witnessing the ceremonies and festivities which takes place in this Ladakh. So here you can see the picture of Ladakhi women in a traditional dress. Life of people is undergoing change due to modernization. So but the people of Ladakh, from centuries they have learned to live how to balance and harmony with the nature. So due to the scarcity of resources like water and fuel, they are used with reverence. Reverence means with respect and care. They don't waste or discard anything. Life in the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. Now we are going to study about the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. So the tributaries of the river Gangas and the Brahmaputra together form the Ganga Brahmaputra basin in Indian subcontinent. You can see that the basin lies in the subtropical region that is situated between 10 degree north to 30 degree north latitudes. The tributaries of this river Ganga like Ghagra, the Son, the Chambal, the Gandak, the Kosi and the tributaries of Brahmaputra come and drain in this basin. The plains of the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, the mountains and the foothills of the Himalayas and the Sundarban Delta are main features of this basin. Oxbow lakes means it is a U-shaped valleys which are created by these rivers in the plain areas. The area is dominated by the monsoon climate. So the monsoon brings rainfall from mid-June to mid-September. So the summers are hot and the winters are cool. Intensive subsistence farming is practiced in these areas. So it is the labor-intensive farming. So where they use high-yielding variety seeds and the biochemical inputs and irrigation facilities to increase the production. Wheat, maize, sorghum, gram and the millets are the major crops that are grown here. Even the cash crops are grown like sugarcane and jute in these areas. Banana plantations are seen in some of the areas of the plain. In Bengal and Assam, tea is grown in plantation. Silk is produced through the cultivation of silkworms in parts of the Bihar and Assam. In the mountains and the hills where the slopes are gentle, crops are grown in the form of terrace farming. The vegetation cover of the area varies from place to place on the basis of type of landforms which are found in these areas. So in Ganga and Brahmaputra plain, tropical deciduous trees are grown, as it is a hardwood tree, and you can see that along with the teak, sal and peepal. Thick bamboo groves are common in the Brahmaputra plain. The delta area, which is formed due to Ganga river and Brahmaputra river near the Bay of Bengal, mouth of the river, you can see that in the map Here, where the Ganga river flows from the western side towards the Bay of Bengal and Brahmaputra river from eastern side, and they meet each other near the mouth of the sea, mouth of the Bay of Bengal. So here you can see that the thick bamboo groves are common in the Brahmaputra plain. The delta area is covered with a mangrove forest. In parts of Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh, coniferous trees like pine, deodar and fir can be seen because the climate is cool and the slopes are steep. There is a variety of wildlife in this basin. So elephants, tigers, deer and monkeys are common which are seen in these basins. The one-horned rhinoceros, as you can see in the picture, 2.11 one-horned rhinoceros is found in the Brahmaputra plain in the delta area. Bengal tiger, crocodile and alligators are also found here. Aquatic life like fish are also seen in this waters, freshwater rivers and the lakes and the Bay of Bengal Sea. The most popular variety of fish are the Ruhu, Katla and Hilsa. Fish and rice is the staple diet of the people living in this area. The Ganga Brahmaputra plain has several big towns and cities. The cities like Allahabad, Kanpur, Varanasi, Lucknow, Patna, Kolkata, all with the population of more than 10 lakhs are located in this located around the river Ganga. So the wastewater from these cities is being discharged in the rivers. So this almost you can see that nowadays it leads to the pollution of the rivers. All the four ways of transport are well developed in the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. So in the plain areas we can see that roadways and railways transport the people from one place to another place, and the waterways is an effective means of transport, particularly along the rivers. So Kolkata is an important port on the river Hooghly. The plain area also has a large number of airports. Now, there are number of industrial centers also in this river basin, such as Faridabad, Ghaziabad, Kanpur, Dhanbad, Durgapur, etc. In addition to these metros of Delhi and Calcutta. So, you can see that ratio and electronics machine and machine tools, textiles, paper, jute, cement, fertilizer, iron and steel, etc. are some of the industries in these river basins. In addition, a number of other agro-based industries are also located in this sub-basin. Tourism is another important activity of the basin. Like Taj Mahal on the banks of the river Yamuna in Agra, Allahabad on the confluence of the rivers Ganga and Yamuna, Buddhist stupas in the Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, Lucknow with its Imambara, Assam with Kaziranga and Manas with wildlife sanctuaries, and Arunachal Pradesh with a distinct tribal culture, tribal group of people which are seen in these areas where it is worth to visit these places. Now we are going to study effects of geography on history. Throughout its early history, mankind constantly moved from one place to another place according to the favorable living conditions. So the topography of the land, availability of water and the climate are the factors responsible for the growth of human settlements in those areas. So availability of water of river Indus provided the base for the birth of Indus Valley civilization. Next, variety of physical divisions divided India into different territorial units with its own history, developed their own history. Next, plains of North India has always lured foreign invaders since ages. So plains of North India had given way for the foreigners to attack India in the earlier history. Next, geographically and culturally, South India has developed its own individuality of culture of its own. And the connectivity of sea with the rest of the world has given opportunity for the Western people to come and invade India or attack India and rule India. Okay, now you understood this video, the earlier video which I had sent you, and this video. So this completes the landform lesson. I am going to recall some of the points here. Landforms are natural features of the landscape, natural physical features of the earth's surface. Second, exogenic forces or processes, also called as external forces or denudation or destructional forces, which originate from the atmosphere. The forces coming from within the earth or taking place in the interior of the earth are called as endogenic forces. A mountain is a mass of land considerably higher than the surrounding area. Now what is folding? Folding is a process that produces folds or bends in rocks due to compressional forces. What is faulting? Faulting is a process that leads to fracturing or cracks of the rocks due to stretching of the rocks. The last one, the tributaries of river Ganga and Brahmaputra together form the Ganga-Brahmaputra basin in the Indian subcontinent. So children, you understood this lesson through this video.